I'm Roland, I'm one of the physical therapists here. I'm going to show you how to use the gait belt and how to transfer a patient. This patient has a non-weight bearing condition on this right leg, so she's not allowed to put weight on this right leg. So to use the gait belt, we need to make sure it's on the waist as much as possible, but you got to watch for any incisions on the abdomen or any tubes right here, so you might have to use it at above the breast. So at this time, nothing's going on with her abdomen right there, so we're going to put it around the waist area. Okay, so we need to make sure it's snug but not cutting on the patient. So because when the patient stands up, it might loosen up a little bit. So to transfer the patient to the bed, so always transfer toward the strong side. In her case, this right leg is non-weight bearing, so we need to move towards the left side. So try to get the chair as close as possible to the bed. You need to make sure that you tell the patient what you're trying to do so the patient can help you out. So Paige, you're non-weight bearing on this right leg, so keep it off the floor. And I'd like for you to push from the chair and stand for me and get to this bed. Put your hand right there and pivot and sit down right there. That will be this ideal way to transfer a patient, but you have to watch for any lines, any catheters, any oxygen tubes, and IV lines. You have to watch for those, so you make sure it doesn't get tangled whenever you transfer the patient. You make sure you put it where you want it, okay? Now, and then you help the patient back in the bed. Now, if you want the patient back in the chair, since the left side is the strong side, I need to move the chair towards the left, on the left side, okay? Now, Paige, still you're not allowed to put weight in this leg. I want you in this chair, so I want you to push it from the bed. Reach for that, stand, turn, and sit down for me. So I gave her a little bit of a boost right there to stand and steady her a little bit, and she did the rest. So ask the patient, tell the patient what you want her to do so she can help you out. That's the main thing. Don't make it harder on yourself. For all we know, the patient can stand up and do it on her own. Then grab and pull is possible. Minimize that as much as possible. So that's the transfer. Now I'm gonna show you how to use the lift. Paige, can you lay down right there all the way with the head as close as you can to the edge? Can you go a little bit higher here? Thank you. Now this bed that we have right here is a stretcher, so there's a frame on the bottom. Unfortunately, I cannot get it all the way in the lift, so we have to modify a little bit, but it should be the same idea when you use it on the real bed up on the floor. So this is the sling, comes in I think XXL and XL. So if you're not sure, go for the biggest size as possible and compare that other than too small for a big patient, okay? So this is the outside and this is the inside, and this is where the head of the patient should be. And we have a little cutout right here, and this is where the bottom of the patient should be, okay? So you just kind of roll it up and ask the patient to roll towards me, and roll this way. And I'm just gonna gather right here, put it where the head should be. And get this on the bottom right there. Okay, roll back, Paige. Okay, I'm gonna get on the other side. So keep the patient from falling over here. Paige, can you roll towards me? Okay. And roll back. All right, so you try to get it in the middle as much as possible. And the main thing you need to remember is this strap, this area right here should cradle the thighs. Okay, and this one too. Because if you put it outside, most likely when you raise the patient will just slide out of the sling. Right there. And then I need to get the chair ready where I want her to transfer to. So I'll put it right here. And I'll get the sling the lift ready. So the lift has two controls, one here on the body and one here over the handheld control right here. So this controls here, this goes up and this goes down. This will sit the patient up and this will lay the patient down. So I need to make sure that I clear the bars here when I move it towards the patient, so I don't hit her on the head while I move it towards her. So I need to move it up a tiny bit more. Move it right here, right about there, and I'm going to set it up a little bit more, and lower it towards her as close as possible. Then you ask the patient to bend their knees if they can, both of them, so I can put the strap right here. And that cradles the thighs. And I'm gonna lower it a tiny bit more. And the next strap is over here. Unfortunately, I have to kind of pull up a little bit over there. The other one right here. And you should feel it click or snap together right there, so it'll be secure. Now the base is ready to be raised up. And here's the control right here. So the patient is lifted off the bed. And the patient will just kind of slide in and settle down. So just make sure the head is supported right there. Go up some more. Now when the bottom clears the bed, then you can move the lift away from the bed. Position it right here, and you can bring the move the lift towards the chair. I'm gonna set her up a little bit more, because I'm gonna turn her around like this, so we can clear the knees from this bar right here. And since I'm moving her to a wheelchair, I can move the wheelchair under her. If it's a recliner, you have to move the lift towards the recliner. And then I'll lower her. I'm going to set up a tiny bit more and lower her down. Now this is a easy transfer, but still requires two persons for safety most of the time because of the lines, and make sure that the chair doesn't tip and stuff like that. So we undo this. Once you have a little slack, then you can undo it from there. Okay, now this sling should be taken out if the patient has to sit up in the chair for a long time, or recliner. If they're sitting on a bedside commode for maybe 10 minutes or so, you can leave it there as long as their bottom is clear, and then they can use the bathroom, use the commode. To take it out, so just pull it out from under her right here. Make her lean forward a little bit and pull it out. Okay. Now let's say this is a recliner. Definitely make sure that the patient is padded and everything before you take it out. To put it back, because you're ready to get the patient back in the bed, just do the reverse. Just slide it down here as far down as you can, like where it was when you transfer the patient here. And if you ask the patient to kind of lift the legs up, so we can get right there. Can you lift? Can you lean that side a little bit, please? There we go. So the key is this straps cradle the thighs when you raise up, so they won't slide off the sling. So that's pretty much it. All right.